Hey guys, it's me David.
And I'm ERIKA. Last week we talked about our relationship as an interracial couple. This week we're going to be talking about long distance itself because that is a key attribute of our relationship.
To look back on our 2023 has been a long, gruesome year for us in general. Just not because just the relationship itself is interracial, it's also been a long distance, which means our time together is not permanent. She comes to see me and then she leaves, so that's how this whole year has been like. Originally, we were planning to have 3 trips, but only ended up having only 2. To put it in simple words, it's not always an easy relationship to be in. It's going to be challenging. It's always been really tiring just talking over the phone or just talking through face to face in the laptop, just looking at each other through screens, where you really can't really feel or know what that other person is really going through just by looking at each other. But it's also just the transparency that could always be a big problem when you are in a long distance relationship that I found really difficult, especially with me and her. We at the beginning we struggled with a lot of trust, and moving into 2023 after the last quarter is when we got really closer with trust, and because we had a lot of trips in the past few months where she came and saw me, and in that way I was able to build that trust with her, just spending time together. So again, long distance is a bit of a tough one for us.
Yes, totally. And because we're not in each other's physical presence, you can't feel that energy that you have with each other. Because if you just have a screen, you don't feel anything. You just see the other person and that's it. You don't feel them, they're not there. And that is also really difficult to manage.
I feel like we have already covered where we did talk about friends, but we're gonna reintegrate them back in this one where we did mention that they don't always support us. Support again, just for a long distance relationship itself has been difficult, I would say. Those were also some things that we mentioned in the interracial issues as well. Long distance relationship is just the same. We all have these more difficulties that we face within ourselves, where just sharing about long distance relationship that we have with each other it's not always been easy either, because we have all these judgmental questions that we have to answer and whatnot. But you would think you're gonna get support for it, because you just wouldn't. It's quite simple, because the people that you're sharing with, they're not in a long distance relationship for one thing, and they haven't had the experience to give you that kind of a support or advice. So when you as a human just going seeking for support or guidance might not always be a right solution in general. So only guidance that we would have for each other is just us.
Yeah.
So that's literally how we found the solution. Just having each other's back and not going behind each other's back. That's one of the key things that we faced and we overcame.
And it's also with the support with friends is when you even mention the word long distance to them, it's going to be hard for them to even believe and trust you at the same time about, is this even a relationship that you have with each other?
True. I think they just simply freak out, to be honest, and they don't know how to react to it because they've never been in one. They don't think it's one. They don't want to believe in one.
Yeah.
So you're always put under a lot of scrutiny just by talking about it. So you really don't know how to face it. Like, she struggled so much because she had more friends than me this year, and she had all girlfriends that she had, and I had boyfriends and girlfriends. Just talking about these things hasn't been a very interesting one, apparently, because not everybody is interested in it and not everybody knows how it works. So it's that simple. And for us, just being sane between this relationship, just keeping us sane is another topic that we often misunderstand with most people. Is we don't have a lot of time spending with each other, which means if we constantly think about each other, what she's doing throughout my whole day, you might go insane. So just knowing, oh, what is she doing? Where is she gonna be? Is she gonna come home on time? Should I call her right now? What would she be like? Is she sleeping still? Just that communication backlog itself makes you go insane. So for us not to do that, we had to integrate our own rituals on say what are the routines going to be like,
Yeah.
what are we going to do, how we're going to keep ourselves busy when the other person is not there, so that we don't go mental.
It's kind of like remaking a schedule, and
Yeah.
then you have to share what you plan to do on that day and then share with each other.
Yeah.
And then we kind of have to like check in with each other, see how much we've done, how much we've completed, what we want to be doing.
Yeah.
And then that's how it
I guess
goes.
those are the times where you really focus on the hobbies that we would have for
Yeah.
each other. I try to make myself busy when finding ideas of making new meals for myself or just doing new fashion and whatnot. And she does her own art, and that's how we mostly find balance.
Yeah. And there will be some times where like I also have to be working on my schoolwork and all that.
And again, I don't know if you guys know, we met through a game. So that's another time where we actually go back into the game,
Yeah.
just reliving how it has been like,
Yeah.
how far we have come. We just talk about that every once in a while. So it's always a very fun experience to have. Again, this is how it goes. As long as you have each other's back, as long as you have each other's commitment, as long as you believe in each other that this is going to work and you guys believe that this is for us, there's nothing that's going to stop us. Doesn't matter the distance, how far, how big, we will work it out. She took a flight to come from New Zealand, which took more than 13 hours for her to come here. That's how far. I'm on this side of the earth and she's on that side of the earth. And we still make it work, even after 1.5 years of difficulties. To be honest, there's really nothing good to talk about 2023, but the fact that we are here together right now at the end of the year has made it all so much better. And that's how we overcame all the difficulties.